All right. Just define me.
Well, it wasn't you per se. It was your work fun balance. It was like wake up at 9 o'clock, one eye it, turn Teams on so that the green check mark exists and it looks like you're online on time. Walk away from the computer, do what you need to do for your morning shit, make sure the counter's fucking clean, all that shit. Come back down, open the emails, make sure that you get through all of your emails, make a small mental list of what you need to do within 2 hours at some point during the day or 6 hours throughout the week, and then edit your brains out. Anytime a Teams message comes in, completely prioritize it, that instant reply, take calls, and then throughout the week at some point, take your 2 to 6 hour prioritized projects, do those, and edit at all other paid minutes that you're sitting at that table.
It's pretty good. So that's...
Where was I wrong, though?
I wouldn't say you're wrong. I'd say that that's like the romanticized version of who I want to be. So I'm not there yet, but I'm trying to be. I want to edit every idle waking moment that I'm alive. I should be editing something or making something or doing something. But sometimes I'm just adrift in the and then you pull out your phone, you go on TikTok and and then you're just in deep despair and mental anguish for a long time. So I've peaks and troughs.
That's good. I like that. Let's predict each other's mornings. I want to predict Matt LeBoy.
Oh, this is fun. Oh,
wait.
Just
little intro though. Little
hard
quick
as a
intro.
rock.
Hold on, save it. You got this. You got this.
Well,
Position.
holy fuck.
Have we ever explained to the audience why we have to do that?
No, I'll leave it a mystery. If you know, you know.
Because we lazy.
Yeah, because we can't afford the Camlink 4K.
Yeah.
Welcome back to episode 30 of the Shitpost HQ podcast. I'm joined by the boys.
Matt.
Matthews.
All right, so Zach just was going into my morning routine, so now Marcus is going to estimate Matt's morning routine.
So, like I said, wakes up, bricked up, just jerks off. But then now this is 7:45. Matt works at 8. So jerks off, go back to sleep 20 more minutes. Wake up again, jerk off second time. Then 8:15, get out of bed. Gets out of bed, looks around, picks up clothes from, smells it, good enough, throws it on.
Good enough.
Now then he goes to the bathroom, the most important part, the hair routine. He'll spend at least 10 minutes to getting the hair right, perfectly coiffed, everything. Everything looks perfectly presentable, brushes teeth in the shower, then gets ready, goes off to work for about 9 a.m.
But he started work at 7:45.
No, you start work at 8. That was the time you're supposed to be in.
But on the way to work, he's changing his schedule around so that he didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt's been successfully gaslighting his employers for the past 10 years of his life. I've never been late once in my life. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You know,
Check the schedule.
other than his attendance and his tardiness, though, that performance really keeps him on the books.
It does. It's not about when you get there. It's about what you do when you're there.
It's about how you
That's what
spend your
matters.
time while you're there.
Scroll TikTok.
So in like a typical day, like when are the times when you're on your phone? Is it just like idle when there's no one around? And like, is there any
There's no
risk?
There's no,
Like, is anyone gonna get you in shit or no
I
one's
don't know. I
just
sell phones. Being on my phone that I'm gonna get in trouble for. No. We don't have a punching clock, so it's just like it's kind of like
nice.
it's a Google spreadsheet of like what time you're gonna be there. And
Do you even have like a supervisor? Because it's just you and usually like one other dude, right? Is that guy?
no, there's
Is it just like
some people quit, and now there's like a manager quit, and then it's just us, me and 2 other guys. And
the
maybe we
dogs are running the
just
show?
hired-
That's sick.
We just hired a 4th, but there's a manager starting August 1st.
But like, is there anybody looking after you to make sure you're doing your job, or is it just like you
No,
go
we're
in,
all
you do your
adults.
job,
We
you
all
leave?
do our
Like
jobs.
nobody's like.
There's nothing outstanding. It's never an issue with like whatever is happening. But like at my old job, obviously I had the whole clock thing, right? So I had access to my schedules and whatever. So I had like perfect attendance always, even though I scheduled myself for like 8:39 ish. If I knew I was gonna be there for 8:39, I'd hop on my computer, I'd go in, I'd change it to like 9:45, 10 ish, right? So I'd get there for like the always quarter to. So I was always early. I'd never got in trouble.
That's fucking hilarious, man.
Fucking 200 IQ.
Yeah,
Fucking time
five
wizard.
head.
Time
That-
thefts.
It is funny though, because if you think about like, because Chris said that on one of the pods, he's like talking about his retail experience, and it's like, there really is like, there's a lot of power if you know how to like finesse it, and like you get your shit done, and no one like asks any questions. You're a very powerful being, especially if you get to like manager level. Shit, anything goes. Doesn't fucking matter. No one gives a shit. But you were at a college this weekend. Tell us about that.
No, it's good. It's just buddy's bachelor weekendish.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
But he had like, it was like a low key one. It was just with him, us, 3 other friends, and then some of her friends. It was sick. He had a boat.
Was it his
Or-
cottage or just?
No, it was his girlfriend's parents' cottage.
Nice.
That's
what you want.
In Muskoka, it was nice. The lake was fucking sick.
What lake was
it?
it?
A speedboat, drag lake.
Dragging these nuts in your mouth.
Got him.
No one our age has a cottage.
No.
We just know people of,
Of
previous
course, yeah.
generations who have cottages.
Well, that's the exact thing, is that all of us are more or less like first gen, but the people who own cottages are like third, fourth gen. Like, you don't just get a cottage;
true.
you
No, that
earn
is
a
true. That
cottage
is true. That is
through
true, yeah.
through nepotism.
Unless you were the first gen capable fucking Germanic that came and just built your cottage.
Yeah, built your own goddamn shit. But so wait, how's that boat? Did you wipe out or no? On
What?
on the tube? Did you wipe out on the tube?
Not me per se, but like the person beside me, like fell over, and I kind of fell in because of that.
Really?
But yeah, no, he
Did
was
it hurt?
he was ripping. No,
Because I've been like pretty fast, but I never fell off. But I've always felt like it would hurt like fuck to
Dude,
fall
yeah.
off.
I don't know. We kind of fell at like sharp angles, so like, it didn't really hurt that much. No, it didn't hurt for me. Just kind of like skid on the water a little bit.
I don't know, like wild stories from the weekend.
No,
Make one up.
no, I can't. I have zero improv.
We did
improv-
400 pounds of ketamine at the same time. Well, I guess we can pivot right into the most interesting topic that's happened this week. If you're from Canada, you know that last Friday, the world ended. The world died.
Half the world died. 'Cause
Yeah,
we live in a
yeah. If you were
monopoly.
superior.
We live in a
so
monopoly here.
so who was on who? Who were you with? Were you out? Fuck is that sound?
I think it was just
My light falling off the wall?
yeah.
Sick. Continue.
I'm with Virgin, and I was relatively unaffected, to be honest.
Mine was shit. I was with Virgin as well, but mine
It
was
was shit, but I was
good,
also
but it
Yo,
was
just
but your
loud.
internet went down, I think, right? You said
My
your-
home internet was
your-
down the whole day,
Your
yeah.
actual internet.
and it was down longer than I think the average provider, because I was with Rogers, so I was down all day long, and it didn't even come. We came back here at like midnight, and it was still down, so it didn't come on until the morning. And what about you? Are you fully blacked out or no?
I'm with Fido, which is a Rogers company. So my phone was down right from when I woke up.
Yep.
And obviously my computer wouldn't work, but I was working at the office that day. So I went into the office and their internet was Bell. So all day long I had access to my work internet, and that was my only mode of communication that I could have possibly used. And I was going to a concert that night with a friend in Toronto, and he lives in Niagara Falls, and I live here in Kitchener. So we had to communicate somehow, which we couldn't, to meet up in Burlington so I could pick him up and drive to this concert. And he was smart enough, because I didn't know his email, to email my work email.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, dude,
Well done.
you're a genius.
yeah.
How'd you think of that? He's like, well, like, I figured you wouldn't be anywhere else. I was like, that's a fucking good point.
So you worked the full day. Like there was no real
I worked the full day, no
impact
problems.
here, okay.
The impact happened because no one could call.
Yeah.
So like it all had to happen via Bell internet, like resources that weren't necessarily communicative that way.
My story wasn't good enough. So actually what happened is my work declared martial law, and pretty soon we were divided into tribes. there was the haves and the have-nots, and we quickly started raiding with angle grinders.
Yeah, whoever wasn't providing the hotspot had the angle grinder to the throat.
Whoever was holding the angle grinder was king.
He got the hotspot.
Fucking shirts versus skins.
Yeah.
That's sick.
A siren started blaring.
It then just
The purge is commencing. Whoever has internet will be slaughtered.
it just became a game of fashioning better and better weapons out of granite.
Yeah, who's got the granite blade?
And who can wield the longer blade?
The longest granite forged blade.
A quartz staff, I can hit you with a quartz staff. A piece of quartz like this thick, could be from here to that wall, and it wouldn't snap. And I could like hold it and go like, smack left and right.
Just go for eyeballs.
You could.
Okay, and this question. There was the Weekend concert in Toronto that night that got canceled.
Same night. Yeah.
But how did yours go? Did you have your tickets on your phone? Did you already have them downloaded? How did that work?
I bought these tickets 2.5 years ago.
Wow. So
This
who was the concert?
has been pending forever. It was Roger Waters, so the guy who wrote all the songs for Pink Floyd, pretty much. A lot of the songs, anyways. So it was essentially just Pink Floyd at the Scotiabank Center, and I was on the floor, and it was fucking fantastic.
You were on the floor?
Yeah.
How close did you get up to the front?
I'll show you a picture from me to that window.
Wow.
I was that close
That's
to the
good.
stage. It was crazy.
For everyone at home, that window's 300 feet away.
Not even, man. Not even
A
close.
long aisle.
That's like
long
25 feet away.
Yeah, that's good.
No,
point.
no, it's like 19.
To scale, from me to your eyeballs away from the computer screen if you're watching on the computer like a fucking simp. But so
What was there?
traffic was brutal getting there. Obviously, it's fucking Toronto. And the start of the concert was delayed by an hour because
Wow.
of communication issues.
Makes
So
sense.
I got there late, and then it was delayed by 45 minutes so that everyone could get there in time.
Nice.
Instead of just canceling like a fucking fucking weekend bullshit, man. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I can't.
that
Well, I
makes
mean, it was the Rogers Center, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think it was just the Rogers Center was more effective because they probably couldn't scan tickets.
Yeah.
Maybe where you were
Because
at
they're all on
Bel Air,
Rogers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does make sense.
See, I thought my concert was at the Rogers Center, so I was
Yours
worried.
was at Molson Empty there?
No, it was at Scotiabank Center, so down the road, the ACC, like where the Toronto Maple Leafs play. I think.
Oh, yeah.
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 It's like just down the street.
Wait, the Weekend had a show at where the Blue Jays play?
I don't fucking know.
So you were at the ACC, the Scotiabank. Right?
Yes.
No, that's where the Raptors play.
That's where the Raptors play.
Yeah.
But the Weekend was at Rogers Center, which is where the
I don't
Blue Jays
actually
play.
know where.
where
he
the Blue
plays.
Jays
That's
play.
crazy that he
Oh,
sold that
that's-
out.
Yeah, that's
That's a
crazy.
massive
huge.
arena.
It's a
Not
massive.
even
arena.
Drake sells that out.
You know what? That might be false information. I have no idea.
Maybe it was at Molson Amphitheater.
Could have been, but like, why would
Outdoor,
you cancel
that's
that?
what
It's an outdoor
Ontario
theater.
place, right?
Yeah, like
I thought they just canceled because of like a whole communication thing.
Yeah, like
People
organizing,
come from all
facilitating.
different cities, like same kind of issue that you were having.
Yeah.
People come from different cities to meet up, to go to this concert, and then I feel like a lot of that would've been
Logistical nightmare.
and
logistical
failed
nightmare.
because they're plebs.
Oh,
That's
that's fucking
incredible.
sick that you still did it. Imagine if it was postponed again, though. He would have
Dude,
fucking just been irate.
I was like so worried that the universe didn't want me to see this show, and then I was like, "Don't say it. Don't say anything until you park the car," because I was like, if I get in like a car accident or gridlock and I miss it, like I'm gonna fucking pay for it. But yeah, no, it was awesome. It's one of the best shows I've ever seen.
And what about you? What was your impact? How was work? And what was?
Who are you with?
Who are you with?
Who is your
I'm curious. I
provider?
want to hear everyone's perspective.
But where? What?
Are you
Who-
with
Who were you
Telus?
with on your phone?
Oh, I'm with Rogers.
So your phone was down.
Yeah, it was, but I was in the cottage, right? So I left my phone on the inside, so I
Oh,
was
yeah.
fucking sun.
Did you guys even like know the world was dying?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah, because all my friends are on Bell. So like they're like, "Yo, Rogers out right now." I'm like, "Sick, I don't care."
I'm at a cottage. I don't care.
On this boat.
Mine was fucking bizarre because I always get like a notification that like the thermostat's been disconnected from the internet. So I woke up to that and I was like, fuck, because my internet's been like choppy recently. So I'm like, oh, fuck, it's down again. And I wake up and the whole world's fucking blacked out. And my work was done. I was done at home, so I didn't have shit to do, so I didn't do anything. But it was interesting because we went out later that night, and I think stuff was like somewhat fixed, but it was like pretty quiet that night. It felt like, I'd say.
Man, work
Like,
from
people
home
weren't-
must have been nice with like that shit down.
Well, there was no work to do, so I did. It was just, it
Exactly.
was just home. It
But
was
everyone was just like, well,
yeah, call it a day.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. I
But
love
but
that.
there was two funny things that happened. My grandma got so scared that because I guess my mom speaks to her mom every day. So because my mom hadn't called her or communicated with her that day, I got a DM from my cousin on Instagram going, "Hey, grandma's worried that your parents aren't answering her." And I was like, "Oh yeah, like the entire internet's down in Canada. Like there's no way to get a hold of them because my parents' home internet was down and their cell phones are down as well." And then I'm like, okay, whatever the fuck. So I replied to my cousin, and I just expected her to get back to my grandma. And then like 6 p.m. comes around, and I get a call from a fucking +82 number. And I'm like, what the fuck spam is this? And I was like, could it be my grandma? I don't know. So I just picked up. And normally I never pick up those calls. Yeah. And I hear, Patrick, one day parinci. Like, so what happened? And like, I'm like,
And he went, Grandma, Y2K. The Russians. The Russians are here.
So many bodies.
Yeah, in the background. Canadian.
so I was just telling, and it was funny because she was just like, so like, she's this mega boomer, right? Like turbo boomer. And she just couldn't comprehend that the internet's down. She's like, what do you mean the internet's down? I was like, well, grandma, internet exists, but also it can also not exist. And that's what's happening right now.
That's crazy.
Internet does not exist for us, and therefore you cannot communicate with them. She's like, I don't understand this. I'm like, what's there not to get, grandma? Internet on, internet off, internet now off.
Internet's still on. You just can't connect to it.
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
isn't it in the air like oxygen?
So that was funny. And then, yeah. And then it was funny because when my parents got a hold of her the next day, she still didn't believe them. She thought like something catastrophic happened. And I was like, God, you're a senile old lady, whatever.
Jesus.
And then the other funny thing was that, again, I was like, okay, I drove over to your guys' place. So I saw Marcus there and I saw Roos, and I was like, okay, how do we get people together today? How do we do something? It's Friday. How do we coordinate? Because you could tell who was blacked out because when you check the group chat, offline 8 hours, offline 8 hours. So I was like, okay, obviously no one's got phones. You're gone. So I'm like, we gotta get hold of.
There's no way these people haven't connected to the grid for 8 hours.
You must be online. You must be online. So I go to message Mike, and obviously nothing. So I'm like, fuck, how do I get hold of Mike? 'Cause I know he's probably down to chill tonight. So I go on Instagram. I message his brother because I see he was like active online. His brother replies to me. His brother calls his dad and tells him to come to my house. And then I'm showering and I
Mike?
get a knock on the door and I'm like, who the fuck's there? It was Mike. I was like, no way that worked. That actually fucking worked. It was like literally playing telephone.
You got on Instagram?
I got on Instagram, messaged Mike's brother. Mike's brother.
How were you on Instagram?
My phone, I had service on my phone the whole day. Yeah.
Oh,
It was-
Virgin
she was
Mobile
spotty,
isn't
yeah.
a Rogers company?
No, it's not.
Bell.
It's Bell.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So you were fine this whole time.
So I was fine, yes.
What about your internet in your house?
Dead all day.
Gotcha.
I'm like with Rogers, so I was
Got
dead
it.
all day. But yeah, I was just like, I was surprised that I was able to get a fucking hold of him. So that was fucking fun. But I guess, let me take a look at this shit.
20 minutes.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Matt's on it.
So, what do we got, boys? We gotta start
Well,
coming up with
well,
topics.
You know what?
Fucking scrubs.
I'm enjoying this one. I liked it.
Okay.
I
go on.
liked it.
Yeah, of course.
It was awesome. My phone was dead. Couldn't hear from a damn person if I fucking tried. I could still go to work and make money. Everyone there was just like in crisis. I was on call that weekend, so I was like, I hope it's like done the whole weekend because then I won't have to take any calls. I just thought it was nice. It was like a nice little reminder that everyone has devolved and we're all reliant on some shit that never existed and then existed. And now here we are just leaning on this, and people are freaking the fuck out, man. Especially people that have lived long enough that all they look forward to is that call from their relative. That's what keeps them going every single day. Like the fact that is where we're at and that was like the state that everyone was in was kind of comedic to me. But I had this sense of comfort that was like, like no one could reach me if they tried today, and I have plans, and it's gonna work out, and that's fantastic.
So I'm with you in the sentiment that being unplugged is nice. It was the fact that for me the day just felt like bizarre. Like from when I woke up to when I went to bed, it felt odd, and obviously because it's like such a monumental thing. Like this is as it's going to be remembered culturally as like one of those days. Like people talk about that one big power outage we had in 2005, right? Like that's an iconic power outage, right? Because that like power was out, people's like fridges spoiled. That was out for like what 24 hours. We can talk about that. Or like I'm sure everyone remembers that one. It was like 2005, I think, 2006. 2003. Yeah, 2003. Yeah, that was like iconic. But like, so it was okay. But for me, I think what I leaned into more in terms of like how I processed it was the fact that it's scary. It's scary that all of our money is this imaginary internet number. And all I fucking had, I keep $5 in my car for emergency, and I had some crack change in this random fucking old watch box. And I had fucking 3 kilometers left on my car. 3 kilometers of gas left. So I was like, I cannot do anything. So I scrabbled together crack change, went to the gas station, filled up $19 worth. It was like an extra 3 kilometers. This is nothing. But it was like, and now I'm out of money. I am out of fucking currency, and all of my money is locked up. I cannot access this. I can't go to an ATM. All the ATMs are down. So it's like, and then Marcus is sitting here on like fucking some cash, and I was like, when we went out, I was like, Marcus, you got to spot us all. You got to be Big Daddy tonight.
That's a good point. I didn't feel that. I didn't feel
that's good.
But like, you could still pay with your credit card, couldn't you?
No.
Credit, yes.
No,
Debit,
it was
no.
just
Yeah, credit, yes.
debit
Credit
machines,
contingent on what
machines.
credit company you're with.
yeah.
Visa, I think, was okay.
Whatever credit company they're with.
It was like two-sided.
Whoever
It was
is providing
two-sided.
the thing, the tap. If
But then it
they're
has to
with
speak to-
Rogers,
it has to
then they
speak-
have no connection. For
See,
you to tap.
But it
but
has
they
to
would
speak to the
obviously
servers
need-
on
yeah.
your bank side.
They
It's
would
like
need
if your
internet.
bank is with Rogers servers, then I
Because
think so.
I filled up
guess.
mindlessly with MasterCard, and
It worked.
it worked.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Now that I like looking back, I'm like, holy fuck. But you know, like
what would happen if you just
I
Yeah.
don't have money.
See,
What am I
like-
gonna do?
So
like-
they
like
actually had a
beat you
sign
up
that
or
said
something?
our
like
cash
most
only.
evolved people, I
But it's
tapped
too late.
first and then filled up. You know how you can do that at the gas?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or you can do like the pay inside option. You just take it and go.
Don't
right?
do that. I just beep there, fill up there.
So what happens after? Like if there's no service, you don't have your.
Then you got free
Well,
gas,
well,
baby.
I
Fuck
guess.
yeah.
Yeah, you're
No.
far away. Yeah, you just drive away. What are they gonna do?
Far away.
What happened?
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. Who are they gonna call? How are you gonna
Nah.
contact the cops?
Yeah, you let me know when you call him. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna see you later.
911, I'm about to drive away with this gas.
Yeah.
I actually had like a
Just leave a
hankering.
voicemail because you can't fucking get a hold of them. The 911 services were down. Actually.
Yeah, I had like when I was driving to your guys' house, I was like, I have a wee bit of a fucking hankering for some mischief. Like if we went to go looting, who are they gonna call? The police? They're down too.
If it was a real global, like full lockdown, not even global, if it was just like Bell and Rogers were down now, that would be something. That
Yeah,
would be fun.
like fully, like, but
That would be fun. Then I'd be ready to go. I'd put the balaclavas on and we were ready to go out.
That's why I say it's scary, because from like a
Well, sure.
shitty middle class perspective, it's like those guys have like the fucking rich people have Starlink satellite. Like they don't give a fuck, but it's like us peasants. You wipe out the internet, all of our money's gone, everything's gone. You have nothing.
Like there's one clip of Andrew Tate. He's like nobody's worried anymore. Like all you like people are so like
It's true.
are just like domesticated and they're just chilling at home and whatever. They don't want to do anything. But he's like I'm okay because I can fly out, do whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I have connections. You guys are fucked.
Yeah.
And it's like damn. Yeah.
Which is like
Right.
again true. Like if like shit went out, like let me put it this way. Let's say one day the entire global grid gets deleted. I don't own my house. I have literally no, like, it's all on the internet.
Yeah.
All
Nobody
I
has
have is a
any record.
shitty piece of paper
And
that
people
says,
who said that you lived here.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
exactly, nothing.
He said,
At
she
that
said.
point, the guy with the biggest knife owns your house.
That's
No,
why.
at that point,
That's
it's-
why I want a gun. I want a gun, not because I think I need it for self-protection. In the event of an apocalypse, the guy with the gun has the power. And if I don't have the gun, then I don't have the power. And I want the power because I want to protect myself.
Unless you're within 50 feet.
I'm still gunning you down, bro.
It's proven that within 50 feet, the guy with the knife will beat you.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
Like that video of the guy with the
There's like videos
That
where
was
they're like
fucked,
in a parking lot,
Rest
and
in
the
peace,
guy
like
just
that.
rushes him. He just most of the time, unless you're really really good, if he's zigzagging,
Yeah, because
He's
I mean,
also
he's
there's
gonna get
adrenaline.
you.
I mean, I've never shot a gun before, but there's like if
Yeah.
you're in a situation where it's like someone's like we're not talking like an average day situation,
Yeah.
like something you've never
Just like
experienced before.
straight like zombie style.
like you literally
yeah.
think you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Well,
And no, I was just gonna say like, would you be able to like hold the gun straight and like
Yeah.
trying to hit his?
Like, is it loaded? Like, how does that?
Yeah, like it's,
fucking
oh
work?
no, it's unloaded. Or you know the laws here, you can't have any clips, you can't have
Yeah,
any
I
guns.
can't-
Here. So you have to like
gotcha.
you put it in, but then you shoot, nothing in it. Fuck.
Yeah.
And this guy's chasing you.
That's
Right,
what Al
what's it,
Pacino says.
Transition.
Well, it's like Al Pacino. Al Pacino said it. You rush a man with a gun, you run away from a man with a knife.
And that actually makes sense. That makes
That
sense.
makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
because it's
Because you would like if you can
hand to
outrun
hand.
the knife, then they cannot
Yeah,
hurt you
if you,
physically.
like,
Did we all watch that video?
Yeah, let's talk about that for a quick sec because that was fucked. So if you haven't seen the video, it's
That's
all,
sad, man.
yeah. Rest in
That's
peace to
sad.
whoever the fuck that was.
Subway.
Granted. I know people say like the guy charged a guy with a knife.
Oh, that guy was an idiot.
Like
What are you
he
doing?
was an objective idiot. Condolences to a family, all that shit. But like
Yeah,
you're a
obviously.
fucking idiot. Why would you think you can fist fight a guy with a fucking knife? Like rule number one of combat: if you have the inferior weapon, okay. Did you see the other guy who actually dodged a couple strikes from the knife? That guy was insane, but like he obviously knew what the fuck he was doing. He was like, "I'll stand up, like he can fight." Even then, an idiot. But then the other guy walked up and fucking sauntered up with his hands down. If he had his hands about, maybe the knife would have fucking hit his arms.
Like,
Like
did you watch this? I'm barely remembering how.
I watched it a couple
I watched
times,
it.
man. Yeah.
But even people who can fight say like a guy with a knife, you run away.
Absolutely.
risk your life like
or you
that?
find something other.
And that guy
blunt
clearly
object.
was like willing to like kill. He just
It could have been
yeah.
drinking, right? It
Fucking-
could have been like a bar night. It was in a Subway, so they're probably just trying to get home or whatever. And some shit went down. I don't know. I didn't read the full story. That guy folded.
Yeah.
That guy fucking folded.
that was
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, and like I saw like a red spot. I'm like, oh, it must be like paint or reflection or something. And then I saw more red.
For anybody who
I'm like,
didn't
oh,
see the video,
shit.
let's recreate it. Real quick.
No, shut the fuck.
So how often, as just a dude, do you think of situations where like there's like someone holding up a store and it's like what you would do in that situation,
All the time.
right? Like you think, or like being confronted on the street, like what you would do. Like you have
about-
these situational
Yeah.
questions in your head,
Yeah,
and what
yeah.
you would do, right?
At the store, I think about how many snacks I could grab and run out the door.
I'm pretty like cognizant of like escape routes. Like typically when I'm walking, like if I'm walking somewhere, I don't ever walk on the street with like AirPods in or anything. I always like try to be. I think it's just best to be aware of your surroundings. And if I'm ever in a mall or in a movie theater, I like usually take like a second. Momentary notice of like, where's the exit? Who's behind me? How many people? Like, just in case. Like, there's been so many fucking theater shootings. There's been so many like mall shootings. Like, just never know. So always like know where you're at, know your surroundings. Like, I don't know. I like to just keep an eye out, my head on a swivel, just in case. Just in case.
I like to think, and it's just a fantasy, I guess, that like if I was in one of those scenarios, I'd be like that guy,
The
who's
hero?
like, all right, I'll get in close to him. He's not gonna expect it. Grab the gun and like point it up. Like, try and
I would
fucking
love
And
to
then the
try
reality.
But in the
you see
reality,
Marcus-
would I do that?
headshotted.
Fucking,
Just gets
who
fucked.
knows? I don't know.
See, it's funny because like, me too, right? And it's like it'd be so easy. Like the guy behind the gun is fucking terrified, right? He's in this situation. He didn't think he'd get this far. It's like, what do? Like, you don't shoot someone. You don't want to shoot someone. You want to make away with the money.
Yeah.
You're not there for violent purposes. I could definitely win mentally. But then there was this one situation that I heard about at a grocery store. It was I won't. So there was a little bit of some like whack shit going on. Some person like made a scene and like said some racist shit to the person behind the cash register. And I remember saying like, if I saw that in public, there's no way I would be able to stand there and just like listen to that. I would have to do something. So then 2 weeks later, this fucking dude at the grocery store, he's in line and he's got like a full cart of groceries, and this woman walks in front of him and he screams, "Back of the line, bitch." And he's fucking like shoving her out of the way, and she's this old woman. And I was like, well, I said this 2 weeks ago that I would do something, so I put my shit down and I walked up to this dude and he was huge and I just threw my hands in the air and I was like terrified. And this was like a normal thing. I didn't have to fight him. Nobody was getting like, it wasn't a stick up. It wasn't a robbery. It was literally just some asshole.
It's just confrontation.
And I was like so quiet. I was like, what the fuck, man? And he's like, make her go to the back of the line. And I'm starting to realize I'm wearing a black shirt and so is the staff here. So he thinks I work here. And I'm like,
oh, you weren't working?
no. This was just like, I was in line. Like the
How
line,
long ago was this?
probably 6 months ago.
What?
Yeah. And I was like, dude, I'm just trying to buy my groceries and go home. He's like, me too, but I can't if this fucking bitch is butting in line. And I'm like, well, like, fuck, man, like, you're making a scene, right? And then he starts, like, getting, like, fucking furious. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, he's going to punch me in the face. But I'm like, there's so many people here, right? And I'm like, that is not how I thought it was going to go. Like, I thought I was going to, like, call him out and he'd be embarrassed and that would be it, right? But it keeps going and it gets worse and worse. And then all of a sudden, this other Jack dude from like aisle 5 comes out and he's like, sir, you're making a complete ass out of yourself. And his attention just turns to this other dude. And I was like, this is perfect. And I ditched. And he flipped his cart and shit went everywhere. And he's like, fuck this. And he like left.
Wow.
And I was like, well, I'm proud of myself for at least not like getting him to not like push her over.
Yeah.
Like he was like shoving her. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Right? Like, I'm happy about that, but like it's like in your head you're just like it's like look at him like panic over like a spot in line. Like I can win mentally without getting physical, and it's just so confident in your mind. And then you're in that situation and you're just like
Everything you
well,
forget,
here I
everything
am
you
with
forget.
my hands up and he thinks I'm a fucking Freshco worker. Sick.
Dude, I actually just saw a video. Fuck, I've been like getting recommended all these fucked up videos. It was a kid. He must have been, I don't know, 18, 17, somewhere in the States. And he was drinking at a mall. Had like a shoulder bag. And a cop pulls up to him and he goes, hey, sir, you're not allowed to drink. I'm going to have to take you in. And the guy goes, like, I don't even know what it didn't get to that point eventually. But he kept asking to search his bag. And the kid said, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that. And then it gets to a point where the cop escorts him out of the mall, and now it's just him, the kid and the cop, and you can see through his chest cam. And the cop goes, "Can I see what's in your bag?" And the kid goes, "No, sir." Like he's like, "I just want to go home, sir. Like I'm sorry." And then the cop goes, "Okay, leave and don't come back." And then it was like the cop said, "Leave, don't come back." And then the kid, I think, said thank you or something like that. I forget like the real interaction. But for whatever reason, the kid didn't turn and walk away. And then the cop prompted him again. So the cop had just literally said, okay, you're free to go. Go.
You just stood there?
And the kid just, yeah, it was like a weird, it was a weird interaction. And then the cop then again asked him, what's in your bag? I know what's in your bag. I see the outline of the jar. I know it's weed. And then the kid goes, don't do this, sir. And the cop goes, let me see your bag. And the kid literally just like flips the switch, turns back around, starts sprinting, runs like 10 feet, turns back around, pulls a gun out, and starts shooting at the cop. And then they went on like a foot chase, and then the kid ended up killing himself. So the kid killed himself, but it's like the escalation of like literally it was all he would have gotten in trouble for is like possession of like maybe weed and whatever. But like that the
He had a
fear.
firearm. They would have got searched.
Well, yeah,
It
okay,
would have
so
given probable cause, and then he went to jail, right?
He had a firearm, but like it's not worth killing yourself for. Like the amount of fear in this kid was so much so that he literally shot at like
There?
But the
Killed
thing
himself?
is,
he like ran away across the street and then killed himself somewhere else.
What the fuck? That's such a weird.
It was
thing to do, man.
it was
I don't understand.
crazy, yeah. And you could tell like the kid was
But
like
he's at a
just
mall?
petrified. It was at a mall.
what the fuck's he doing at a mall with a gun?
Just fucking,
That's his problem. Like, I don't-
no, it's his problem. It's just like the weird shift in emotion. It was just so hard to like understand what was going on because you literally heard the guy go, "Okay, don't come here again. You're free to go." And then it literally the kid died because it didn't end there because they stayed around. I was like, that's fucking sad.
whatever.
It's fucked.
Sucks, I guess.
A whole lot of mental illness there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Him. Cop.
Yeah, the cop, everyone. Yeah, like, bro, just let the kid go, man. There's weed and even if it's a gun, fucking.
I don't know. What if that guy was a fucking next mall shooter?
I mean, could have been, yeah. Who knows? But
You're
He was
pulling
probably
for-
just waiting around to make a deal.
yeah, he's probably just selling drugs.
He could have left,
Yeah.
but he was like, I'm here
But he's
for a
drinking.
purpose.
liquor.
Yeah, I mean,
That
usually
was
it
why he got caught first. That was,
Yeah, yeah, he was like, yeah, he was like, drunk on the job.
Yeah, well, no.
But who knows? Fucking ridiculous. What else? Who? What? Do you have a topic?
Well, I was just gonna say, I was gonna kind of like go off what we were talking earlier. What would you do? What did the first 12 hours gonna look like in the moment that it's like total blackout? No,
In the Great Reset?
Sure, if you want to call it
Okay.
that, or like a like an apocalyptic scenario, right? Like
So like all power goes out, everyone's out, no
power's
communication.
shit's hacked. You can't call anybody, can't talk to anybody. Potential fucking people coming in,
Okay.
like armies coming in, nukes may or not have been dropped, like that kind of shit. Like
It's
it's
like
like
2 words for you. Home Depot.
that's a zombie
I
apocalypse.
got 2 words
No,
too.
no, we need
Kill
better.
myself. Okay, so I can hit it first.
That's also an option. It's like, would you want to live it out, or would you just fucking?
So
That'll be the greatest
Yeah,
days of our
that'd be-
lives.
so so okay, let's say okay, so I'm home alone. I just got blacked out. I think
Drunk?
unironically the first thing I would do is drive to your house because you guys are closest. And I would just like group up with you guys and like power numbers and then
Yeah, we need a gimp around the house.
Yeah, we need a.
we'll turn Mike into the gimp. With my gun, you're all my gimps. I want everyone to suck my dick right now. So okay, I'm under the assumption that I have my gun. So I grab my gun.
You don't have a gun. You have what you have right now.
Okay, I grab my fake gun.
Okay.
I grab all my fake guns. I arm us all. We're armed to the teeth, and we go wreak havoc on the community. No, so we pull up. We reinforce the car. You just
Reinforce the car?
some 2x4s by the window,
Which
like death
car?
race style.
Man, that'd
my
be so
car,
much
the white
fun
Spectre.
Just thinking about it now.
It'd be fucking insane.
I'd be so hyped. Putting
okay.
on my spike.
But no, but the thing is, it's like you
Gear.
just woke up. Your phone signal's dead. Everything is dead. So you have no idea it could be.
Right, so that's something I would come to you guys first because it's the closest.
Okay.
Come to you guys, see what's up, whatever. Probably drive to my parents' house, see what's up there. Come back here, and then if let's say now all of a sudden we know that like something's okay. So are we going like full apocalypse? Like, what's
So
the
what
scenario?
What will be the
Outside, all
apocalypse?
you hear is this like.
Yeah, okay, air raid sirens.
We don't have those. We don't have
You hear
those.
people
Did-
screaming.
Really?
You hear
Yeah.
places burning.
The only
Yeah.
reason why they were
No, you hear like cop cars and fire trucks rushing by.
Okay,
Screams, vague
Prioritizing
screams in the
like
distance.
911s. Is there 911?
I think
there's
we'd
no
have
cell
to
phone-
we'd
there's no
have to
phone service.
gun up, loot the local zares, probably come to my place, board up all the windows.
Locals theirs.
We go
Yeah.
off in squadrons of 2.
Because your
Home
house has
Depot,
too many
tell me,
windows. The
theirs.
sunroom's a weak point. So we probably come here, board up all the windows.
You need
Home Depot.
hardware.
Yeah, we need hardware,
Tools.
tools.
Power
Yeah,
Tools.
Y'all acting like isn't 10,000 people also at Home Hardware.
yeah, but we have guns. We get all the wood.
And then we also send a crew of 2 to get gasoline.
Yes, jerry
And
cans
we're not
galore.
We're not souping up your car. We're doing Eric's truck.
There's no electricity. So
Eric's truck's gonna turn into a
No.
tank.
Eric's truck we turned into a battering ram, and we use my car as like the Mad Max like speed wagon.
If there's no power, the pumps don't work
Really?
because everything's electrical.
Oh.
If there's
a
no
good point.
power, the pumps are dead. Like it's useless.
Then we go siphon it out of the fucking neighbor's car. I got a couple old ladies on my street. They're done
You guys
first.
know how to siphon?
We're slaughtering them. We're taking their food, their meat, their dogs, turning out a little army.
Walk
Not
right
without
into
getting
every
gas
house
in
in
my
this
mouth.
neighborhood. Take the keys. All the feeble people take the keys, take their car, bring it and park, and make like a car
A car derby.
barricade in front of this house. Looks like a little semicircle.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they won't know where to attack.
No, but they know
We're
they're we're fortified.
There's nobody else.
How
with
long-
blocks
how long do you
that's
think
gonna
you
be
could
as
last?
close as we are?
How long do I think I could last?
like, so okay. If there's no electricity, there's no heating, there's no running water.
If it's the summertime, we could probably last the rest of the summer, probably. But the winter, we'd just die. I
Why
get
would we
blankets
die?
and shit. Yeah.
The thing is, you'd have to look like the least approachable house on the street.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Yeah,
Not even
fortified.
that.
Yeah.
If it's if
No,
if
like-
it came to that, I would say peace would last no longer than a week.
Yeah, I'd
I would
agree.
I would say, but from like day 3, day 4 of like
This is a good
blackout,
question.
whatever,
Yes.
like total blackout, it would
Okay.
be you would start seeing like looting at grocery stores, right? Because food's
Absolutely.
running out.
Yeah.
Right? You saw it at Costco, fucking people were fighting for toilet paper.
Yeah.
That was
And there was
cute.
power, right?
That
So
was
now imagine
horrible.
what it will be without power.
People will loot immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah,
We go,
immediately.
Like, it's like society is like the only way to like domesticate like a human from actually
being an
the
animal.
apex predator.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, yeah, we're literally just animals. And
we are like the teddy bears of like apex predators of what we could be.
oh, I'd be feral, man. I'd be absolutely feral.
So now picture what it would be like in countries that aren't so developed.
But the problem is
But I
they
think-
would
I
actually
think
they would be the
more
ones that
civil.
survive.
Yeah,
They're,
yeah.
they're almost
Civil.
more used to it. It's us.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're
We
too
would
privileged.
snap.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it would be
We
it would
wouldn't
be
know
the
how to cope,
people.
and we would
I
just go
agree.
nuts.
It would be
Yeah.
the people who are like live in tribes, whatever, like the ones that don't contact like us. Like
True. They're like, what do you
civilized
mean?
people.
Oh, there's something going on in another
yeah, they'd
countries.
be
Well, they have-
unaffected.
they have
Yeah, they're
Zero
literally
idea.
unaffected. Yeah.
Like they think the Earth is
Everything
flat.
goes as normal. They're still trading.
Okay,
They're
now pick-
bartering.
Not even
whatever.
trading. Like they just farm. Like
Okay, now
like
picture the states.
Oh,
Oh, there would be like massive.
you mean,
Way
you
more
mean the
people?
great no-go zone?
Because you know what you could do here? You could just go north. Less people.
Yep.
Yes.
You could just go north.
Yeah.
Just
Hunker
find-
down
We just
up
go to
there.
Joanne's cottage in Muskoka. We just take it. That's it.
Man,
it's
those-
ours now.
Those small towns up
That's
there,
it. This is
We're
ours.
coming for you,
Those-
Joanne.
Fortify
those-
the lake.
This lake is ours.
those small towns up there, they're already so tightly knit as a community. Like they'd get together and become a tribe.
Yeah,
You know?
it'd be like the fucking tribe of Halliburton.
Yeah,
My
serious man.
Fuck, it'd be fascinating.
It'd be very scary for the one who's not like
Yeah.
Andrew Tate. Doesn't have his PJ. He doesn't have.
But okay, but even then, as like that guy, it's funny because I guess if you're super rich, you probably have like bunkers, shelter.
that was one
food.
thing actually. If like I ever become like multimillionaire,
I will have a bunker.
I will have a-
Absolutely, I'll have a
like
bunker.
self-sustainable.
Yeah,
You
for
don't
like
need
5
anything.
years underground.
Not even for fucking millennia. Like that thing. That thing does its own repairs, whatever. Like I would make sure anything you can imagine what money can buy would
Yeah.
be in there.
I think Post Malone was talking about he has like a bunker, but it's like, why the fuck wouldn't you? It'd just be fun to have it. Go have like a sleepover in the bunker.
And like and then
true.
all like the billionaires are still connected to the internet. They're just Starlink.
Yeah, through Starlink.
they're still on like
They're watching like Apocalypse
Oscars.
TikTok. Like
Yeah.
they're making like weird dances.
They're like
Jeff Bezos has fucking Bill Gates as his gimp.
they're on their yachts in the fucking in the sea.
They're in blimps with like gold masks on. Like, what do you think will happen next? It's like Squid Game.
They just throw food out and they watch the people like kill each other for it.
That's fucked.
Absolutely. Why
That's
not?
actually like
What would happen?
scary.
They probably
Yes.
have a death pool on like the countries.
Yeah.
Dude,
You know.
that's like a real thing. Yeah. Yeah, that would. They're like, let's cut the power and see what happens. We'll all get together.
Dude, listen to this. So
I bet they would reconnect the power to specific places just to see what happens.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
Sweden's going back online. Watch all the neighboring countries just.
they'll be fighting
Go
each
ahead.
other for fucking power. This guy at my work, Joe Youp's got his brother. He now works with me.
Yeah.
His guy came up to the booth and he's trying to buy a phone. He was just like talking about phones, and then he's like, "Man, like I'm pissed at Rogers. Like I can't even switch over to Bell or whatever because you need to have your service active." And he's like, he went on a nutty spree of like saying how this is like part of the Great Reset and like how it's a whole conspiracy of why they want to see what would happen and how people will react and whatever. And he kept going on for like 20 minutes and you're just listening to him like, all right, trying to buy this phone or what?
Dude, that's what
Some
I was
people actually really nutty.
Well, that's okay. People are nutty, but like things like this is like I'd like to say with 100% confidence that they're nutty, but there's a part of me that's like, I don't know, man. I literally don't know. Like, anything is possible. Crazy shit has happened in history. Crazy shit is likely to happen again in our lifetimes, and if it happens, I want guns. That's it. Bottom line, want gun.
There's just a tipping point. Like we're fine, and sometimes the scale, but all it takes is just that one little things go a little too far, and then
Oh yeah, the moment that a nuclear
Chaos.
bomb is dropped anywhere.
Could you imagine that? Like it just we've literally had it so good for so long, and humanity has evolved like radically from like the last wars happened in a time like where telephones were just becoming invented, like where there were TVs, but they were like not like media, like it wasn't available. Imagine right now if we just saw 4K TikTok footage of a nuke going off somewhere.
Like the one.
Like I mean, like the Ukraine war is like a pretty good example of like just watching it happen and doing nothing about it. But like, imagine it happens to to America, to North, and that's when it'd be like, oh fuck,
TikTok of it, bomb going off.
yeah, that the fucking text,
Voice.
bomb goes off in North America. Wow. Watch this.
Greg.
Like for more. Hit plus for more follow. All the comments are like goofy ab bomb, L plus ratio,
I sold-
commentate W.
I sold a phone to a guy who worked in the army, and like, he showed me like his ID card, like his Canadian Forces ID, and I was just like kind of like shooting the shit, like so like in an event if something happened, obviously because I want to know like how prepared are we like for anything, and he's
Zero.
like, we'd survive a week. He's like, we would last probably about a week worth of combat.
Well,
And,
again,
like he's in the Air Force, so like he like, I think we rent our planes from the fucking States, like they,
yeah, that's
they give us
true.
loans, like we have absolutely nothing, like there's.
We have the north, though. You could move north and burn beneath, and move north and burn beneath. It wouldn't be a long-term solution, but we could hold longer. But we would burn all of our
How are you gonna
agricultural
get
land.
to north.
I'm talking armed forces. I'm not talking about us. We're
Oh.
fucked.
Yeah.
We're dead.
How far can I get on one tank of gas? How far is 670 kilometers?
Not that far.
That won't even take you to
How
North
far
Bay.
will that
That
get?
won't even
Zach,
take
you drove up there, so
It's not that far.
So
Hey, you know,
here's one
ironically,
thing.
Yeah.
Here's one thing you're not getting. Sorry.
no.
Even if you had a full tank of gas,
Hmm.
whatever, right? You've seen Walking Dead, how highways have fucking cars everywhere. Why? Because people got out of the cars, they can't have gas. So they have obstacles.
Yeah.
So you have a full tank of gas, provided there's no obstacles.
that's
True.
like
Yeah.
week 2 though.
No. I think Matt's right
Week
because
one,
everyone want to
there
go
are
no
away.
cars,
electricity,
like, all over
no
the
pumps.
Yeah.
Luckily, we don't live in a city like Chicago where everyone would flee the city.
Oh fuck!
You know, we live in
Chicago be-
Kitchener, Waterloo, right? Like, as long as you like dodge Toronto.
You gotta go through it though, unless you go country roads.
Yeah, country road it.
Fuck.
Fuck it.
I'm just so
The back
curious,
roads.
man.
We could go to the Lake Huron. Go out
Let's
that
go
way.
for a swim.
Okay, so
you can make it there.
Tobermory, Flower Pot Island.
here's another question:
Take over Flower
Take
Pot
over.
Island.
We're the Flower Pot Island boys.
Do you think any of you guys are capable of starting off like a chain reaction that would lead to an apocalyptic
scenario?
situation?
Um.
Could you go and assassinate like a political figure in a different country? Just let's say out of
I could bang one of Putin's distant relatives.
no, that could cause a chain reaction.
Like, if
Male
we
or
thought
female?
about it long enough, I think we could like come up with a solution. I think we all have we're an adult enough now, and like let's say there's like what 12 of us in the group chat. If we united 12 of us, I think we could like cause some crazy event, barring some absolutely like deplorable actions. But I think
catch
anyone's
it off
capable
guard,
of that.
right?
Yeah.
I think anyone can really do anything if you really set your mind to it. So I guess. Would? Absolutely not.
No,
Any political figure being taken out, number one.
isn't gonna do much.
Yeah, it's a low level puppet.
Yeah.
There
really.
is such a hierarchy that we are like have
Never
no
understand.
clue about.
The lizards will replace him so quickly.
They'll just glue his head back on and and change the batteries.
But like for real, what impact is that really going to
None.
do? Like other than like
That was an example, right? I'm just thinking.
'Kay.
No,
of
no,
World
no.
War One started.
The real question is,
yeah, you're right.
who do you-
Archduke Franz Ferdinand?
Yeah.
if we like really had to like, I wish I could just know if there's just like grand godfathers of like the earth, just like 7 guys who like actually have like some supreme level of power.
Like
Yeah, the
Avengers?
Citadel of Ricks.
Fuck. Like, do they just meet at like a physical table? Do they meet in the metaverse? I don't know. It'd be so interesting. To
Are
find
they
out.
10th dimensional beings? Are they completely consisting of
Yeah, his name is
wavelengths only?
Jesus.
Bezos already went back in time. And
Yeah, and he found Trent. Now he's huge as fuck,
Yeah.
smashing.
Actually, where did
fucking-
I hear this? So I think it was on Rogan's podcast. If time travel was ever invented,
Yeah.
you would only be able to travel back in time to the moment that time machine was created. And at that point, when the time machine is created, time just ceases to exist because everything is happening all at once. Because you could technically say that people 10,000 years from now who have your machine
Yeah.
can go back and see you. Right? So the moment they created, like at the same time, you know what I mean?
that's one theory.
Yeah.
That's a theory, as in you're traveling in time in a time machine,
Yeah.
meaning you're inside of a vehicle, and so you can only go if you're staying in that vehicle. The vehicle has to exist. You
Yeah.
go back into it. Right?
Yeah.
So like if the vehicle wasn't made till 1989, if you go back before 1989 on the vehicle, because it's a vehicle. That's just one like theory. But there's also just time travel is like going through a wormhole, which like, you could do
materialize,
just
atomize
yourself technically.
Man, time travel is still like the most half-baked cake.
Yeah,
like
lucrative.
Like you can never like what's that one movie that like tried to do it best? And like we've never watched it, but I forget. It's like if you go on any Reddit thread about time travel, they always talk about it. Have you heard about it? Primer. Have you watched it? And is it like cake?
Good.
It's good.
Never.
Did it make sense?
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of it.
Like, could you watch it baked, or like you have to watch it sober?
Yeah, and then you even got to watch the explain video afterwards.
I do that. I'll do that for
every
anything.
Time travel movie, to be honest.
We're doing good. Is that the best one?
No, it's not the. It's probably the one that's done it like the science of it the best. I think is what it's known for. It's not necessarily the most entertaining.
What else? What other like show did time travel good other than like
Doctor Who?
Don't say Back to the Future. No, Doctor Who. Actually,
Whatever that was. I don't know.
I actually saw like 'cause I didn't know that Doctor Who was about time travel.
We just had a teacher who was obsessed with
Dude,
Doctor
some
Who.
people are upset. Like that show has a crazy cult following.
Massive.
See,
Yeah.
from what I understand, the premise is that the plot line gets thicker and thicker, and the writers just go so hard. And as soon as they're backed into a corner and they can't get out, they just go back in time, and it just solves
Oh
everything.
yeah, that show sucks.
Yeah,
You
right.
actually watched it?
Yeah, because in grade 10 or 11, we had a history teacher who's like he's obsessed with it, and so we would weekly watch an episode.
That's kind of sick.
I actually enjoyed it. Like it's that sci-fi kind of stuff I can
class,
entertain.
It's so like okay, there's like a couple episodes that you're like this episode on it and its own is good, but most of the time it's super cheesy.
Yeah.
Super cheesy.
I just think it's like a very easy scapegoat to just be like, go back in time, and then it's just like solved.
Of course.
You know, it's like it's been done before.
Time travel. I did see a clip of Doctor Who, and it was something along the lines of, I think it was Van Gogh going to see one of his like.
that was
museums.
actually,
That was actually one
that's
we
a
watched,
good
yeah.
episode.
And it's like
like
wholesome because like he didn't
That
get
one I
appreciated
actually
his
liked,
time,
yeah.
and then he cries, and it's good. So I was like, that's cool. It's cool as fuck. But
It's like a he was dead the whole time kind of. It's like or it was all a dream.
yeah,
Like,
dreamscape.
It's the same shit. It's like, oh, it's just a quick solution to end it, and it's just like can't realistically see myself subscribing to that kind of thing.
It's just goofy.
Each their own.
So never seen it.
To each their own. Transition.
I was gonna say that I think you strike me as someone who almost never disconnects fully from the internet.
I think it's possible.
Like, cause
You
you
don't
don't
think
go,
it's
you don't go
possible?
camping.
Oh,
You
I go
don't-
camping.
You don't.
I go
Shut up,
glamping.
You don't go camping.
No, but okay, here's the thing.
You can't even disconnect from electricity, let alone.
So
the internet.
I'm down, but the last experience you guys had literally sounded so shit that I didn't want to go. If we go when it's not bug season, I'm down.
Oh,
the
that was
Killarney
just
trip?
because of bugs.
Yeah.
And actually, that was only
Fuck bugs, man.
that was only the night. The next day was amazing. We canoed for
Until 6
like
o'clock.
5 hours. We stopped on an island. We had snacks, whatever. Saw beautiful like sights and whatever. Like that whole rest of it was amazing. It was literally just the bugs, and that was just because we went way too early in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, in May you're pretty much fucked.
We went June 6th.
Yeah, yeah, black fly season.
Yeah, and it was like peak black flies.
Black flies are the worst.
But that's the best part of camping. Other than all the actual
Fuck.
outdoorsy
Oh.
shit, is like literally disconnecting.
bugs
all the bugs in my foreskin. I can load that baby up.
How many bugs can you fit in your foreskin?
That's what we do. We always find the guy with the biggest foreskin.
And then we
see how
shove
many
all the
we can
bugs
get
in there.
Kind of, are they live or are they dead?
Both.
Got a little bit of each. Yeah.
A little bit of creepy crawlies down the urethra.
Oh, that is a fucking phobia.
What?
Bugs in your urethra.
Jeez.
Phobia? Phobia for some, fetish for others, you know? To each their own.
Yeah, the disconnect is definitely essential though.
Yeah. So, okay, how many times a year do you fully disconnect, would you say?
Probably only a handful of times.
Yeah.
which is like 200% more than the average human.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like probably 5 good times.
I wouldn't say other unless I'm traveling somewhere like to a cottage, for example, or I'm going overseas. It's not really possible for me to kind of disconnect because like if I'm not connected at home, then I'm connected at work.
Yeah.
If I'm not connected at work, then probably sleeping.
I feel like we should do it more.
It's almost impossible though with like,
It is. I
'cause-
wish we like when we went to these cottages, we would just like, all right, everyone, just put your phone away.
well, even like
And we just have the weekend at the cottage.
That's boring.
modern relationships don't even like, can't even survive anymore.
It's
Like
just
right now, if I
drastic.
left the group chat and just went off the grid, like, you know, I chose to. I told you guys, hey, I'm going off the grid.
When did you do that?
No, I'm just saying, hypothetically, if I
Oh.
said tomorrow I'm turning off everything, I'm going off the grid, I wouldn't see you guys because no one's gonna like it just wouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? What happened?
Like, how would you get a hold of me to plan anything? How would you invite me? Like,
I would
yeah,
just
you'd
show
invite
up.
me and
We'd just show up here.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess, but it's like,
Oh, you
ah,
would.
fuck.
Come knock on the door.
Yeah,
Like a normal
Like a
person.
normal person? Yeah, I don't know.
See, the thing is now, like, it's been normalized to text that you're here and then just walk in.
Yeah.
And that's life now. But it's like it used to be like you go knock on doors.
No, you made
I still
plans
knock
a
on
month
doors.
ago. Hey, Friday the 14th, we're going to do this.
Yeah,
And
because not Friday the 13th. Fuck that.
that's a scary time.
That's when all the
Fuck
bugs
that
come out.
From the
That's when all the foreskin.
That's when all the
That's
bugs
what you
hatch from
gotta
your foreskin. You've been incubating for a year.
Every Friday the 13th, foreskins everywhere. They cringe in fear of the bugs.
the bug takeover.
Bugs versus foreskin. Friday the 13th.
So I really like Algonquin Park. As soon as you drive into a certain point,
They check your foreskin.
They get the biggest. They have the biggest foreskins there.
Huge foreskin.
as soon as you're in, you
Holy
sacrifice your foreskin. You guys got me. No, but there's just no more service, right?
You give
Imagine if there weren't any toll booths. There were just
foreskin
collection-
inspection stations. Those are a lot of bugs, sir. Come on in.
No bugs. Can't travel.
Can't travel.
Now, is that manual inspection or some sort of tube that you just insert and then it sucks your foreskin and measures
That's,
the
that's a
distance?
glory hole, Marcus. Is-
Ooh, circumcised. We're gonna have to give you the tattoo. It's like those are the new Jewish people. It's like circumcised versus not circumcised. He can't even have bugs in his foreskin because he doesn't have
I
foreskin.
think by culture they do circumcise.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, we knew
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
hilarious. That's hilarious.
But it's fine because there's also people like Marcus who are circumcised.
That sucks.
Well, there you go, guys. Now you know.
I think we already said that.
I know you've been
yeah,
wondering
okay,
this
sorry.
whole time.
Anteater versus fucking lobotomized. Big one.
And
Got a lobotomized cock there, kid.
I always say I kind of wish I had it.
Of course. It's like hair, bro.
You could probably buy one. Yeah, it's probably could buy one.
Dude, you can turn
Get
it
a
into.
foreskin skin graft.
Slightly used.
Well, I mean, you
He
could
died in a car crash last
you
week.
could
He's
turn
good.
it into a vagina. I'm sure you could get a foreskin.
Has anyone done that? That's actually a genuine question.
Yeah,
I think years ago, not like look. I
Gotten a
heard about.
foreskin?
Your priest did it?
No.
that on the internet you can. Sorry, you can find anything.
Yeah,
I
artificial
wonder if you
foreskins.
can find an
For sure.
article of somebody who,
Got a foreskin graft?
yeah, we just
What I was gonna say is I saw something once that there is a way, and I really don't think it works, but it was like these guys who tried to remake their foreskin by just every single day viciously ripping at their dick, like up and down, jerking it very hard to make the skin loose.
how hard.
And so that eventually it's loose enough that you basically have a foreskin again.
That's determination.
But yeah, I really don't think it worked, honestly.
I mean, I'm sure there's like a subreddit called like foreskin regrowth. Like, I'm sure that's the thing. That's the bad part about the internet.
They sold
There's a
creams.
community for anything.
Yeah.
It's fucking disgraceful. But I guess should we get into some more camp stuff?
Yeah,
Give me
no
your best
shit.
camp story.
I was trying so hard. I was talking about going out.
Give me some- give me some- give me some camp
Show me your
stories,
foreskin, sir. All right, you're allowed
That
in.
was just too
No,
good of a
fuck.
tangent. That was just too good of a tangent. Give me your
Have you
best
seen-
camping stories.
You go to Foreskin Peak.
Just double back.
What would that look
Fuck
like?
the whole thing. Back to the foreskins. Luckily, I have a surplus, so we're good. We,
Collect.
I guess The best camping?
Instead of mushroom picking, you go foreskin picking.
No, they exist. Right? No, you can find them anywhere. You say it yourself. Probably my best camping experience was the Highlands of Iceland. Like, it wasn't like there was no like service you had to sign up for. It was just you showed up and there was like a trail that went from the Highlands to the ocean. And it was 5 days. And you just needed to be prepared. Like, you could get anything you wanted at base camp on either side. But at that point, you kind of just had to be prepared enough to make it through. So I had the tent, I had the sleeping bags, the food, all that stuff. So, like, I was good. And just being completely, like, I can never go, like, inland camping ever again after that. Like,
Front country or...
Yeah, just, like, having the best campsites in the world. Like, the Highlands of Iceland, it's, like, 18 degrees, beautiful, sunny, no humidity. And I'm just, like, sitting in a tent overlooking, like
Mars.
on a cliff,
No
literally.
animals, no bugs, right?
Yeah.
Incredible. No bugs, no animals.
Yeah.
Like, you're good.
You could even do that.
Yeah. And it's just like,
Sounds
then you go
great.
inland camping and you like pay out the ass and then you park beside like Raj and his family. Hey guys. It's like, no, I talked to them. They're good people. They're going to leave us alone. Don't worry. And then you get the young kids on the other side. Well, they were allowed till 11:43 last night. And I know that they have a no radio policy on this site. So I think I'm going to go talk to the warden tonight. Just anonymously just say, hey, I saw these guys and, fuck that shit, man. Go out there, see it, be on your own. I was not ready for that one. Not ready.
Really? Oh yeah. You like had an injury, right?
Well, yeah, my knee was like pretty bitched at one point, but it was the best thing I've ever done. And still to this day, like interview question, anything like that, like what is the greatest accomplishment? That it was the Lagavegr trek in Iceland.
So how it was how many days? 5?
It's 5. I did it in 4 because the first
And how many kilometers?
between 30 and 40 a day.
Wow.
Wow.
And it was
That's a lot.
and it was
Like
like
how much shit on
and,
your back?
and it was up down. In Peru they call it Inca Flat when
That's
it's
like
up down, up down.
6 hours of hiking every day at least.
It's pretty much your day, right? Yo, Richie, what's good?
Second shift is here.
But yeah, it's pretty much like the entirety of your day. Like you start thinking about things like prioritizing daylight and what you're going to eat and how much food you have, like stuff like that, and I really like that. Like it's really it contributes to the whole disconnect thing that we're talking about that's so seemingly valuable. And here's something I thought of before. It's kind of hilarious how that's vacation for us, is putting ourselves in a situation where, well, for me anyways, I'm disconnected and like paying for it to some degree, like taking a plane or taking a
To
bus.
experience what you're supposed to experience.
To experience what you're supposed to experience.
Baseline
Back
humanity.
in line.
And really
How
sitting
hard are you
there.
fighting the urge to jump in with a foreskin joke.
Oh no, I got none. I'm actually intrigued.
Yeah, just like sitting in a tent, completely self-sufficient, eating some food that's really not that great. Because
when you
you've
cook
been
it on
carrying
that
it.
fire, it tastes so good.
Yeah, it does.
It's
And
so
like
good.
you're so depleted from your calories that you burned all day long getting there to the place. Like some of the views that I saw were fucking insane. Some of the people that I met were really cool. Like, and yeah, it's just you can't, like you couldn't pay for that,
I think the only thing that I would want, and I think that I would do, like if we go, you know what, let's book a fucking backcountry camping trip. I'm down, but I just want blizzies. I just want to smoke a blizzy,
Yeah, of course.
blunt a day. I feel like it would just be better baked. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah, because
I think-
you wouldn't contribute, right? No, I'm just joking. I'm just
I don't
kidding.
know. I like getting high while we're camping. Oh, canoeing and kayaking.
Yeah,
You want
beautiful.
to?
Yeah,
That's
I
very
do that
fair.
The whole time.
You want a skizzy?
Skizzy.
It's foreskin and glizzy. Nice backwood.
Foreskin backward.
What would they be called?
A flizzy. A fizzy.
Skizzy. Yeah, skizzies.
Skizzy fizzy. 4 skizzy. I
Foreskin.
smoked the whole pack of 4 skizzies.
You know what? I think it'd be cool. The only issue I would have, and I'm really not tooting my own horn here. I'm just saying that I've done this a couple times, and I think I'd get ripped off in the end of it, because if it was a bad time, canoe flip, bug season, someone didn't pack enough shit, I'd be the one providing for some fucking pleb who didn't. And it'd be like, they'd be eating my food, they'd be wearing my dry socks,
If we go, you
and that would
hold your
suck.
own.
Yeah.
That's
If
it.
you fuck
or
up,
you get left behind.
I like that.
Your canoe flips.
I like
shit's wet.
that. I do like that.
is there like a risk of that?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
how easy is it to
Well,
flip
you
a
know
canoe?
what? You are in a
Canoes are
canoe,
hard to flip.
What?
so you could flip it.
I almost,
No, you
dude,
can flip it.
I almost flipped a canoe on shrooms. I was
You
at
were
a,
on shrooms in a canoe?
I took shrooms and then I started like peeking. It was me and Nerman, and we
Oh,
go
at
out
the
in the
weekend.
middle of the fucking this was like a year
we
ago.
did this actually at your cottage actually.
Yeah.
A couple years ago. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the clouds come, the fucking shit starts getting rocky, and we start getting perpendicular to the waves. And then Nerman had already done that before, flipped his canoe with 6 guys. One of the guys couldn't swim. They actually got search and rescue. They had like the whole SEAL Team 6. They were like in emergency blankets. They almost died. So Nerman knew exactly
Like the
what
Coast
was
Guard
going.
flew in
Yeah,
somehow?
like the Coast Guard had to rescue them. They had to get rescued.
Wow.
And then I guess Nerman had like literally experience with it, and he's like, we toppled once, and I was like, I saw his like face change, and he's like, we gotta get like in line with the waves. Where
Yeah, in irons, yeah.
Yeah, you
so-
don't want to be like perpendicular.
So then I asked
you
him, I
want
was
to be
like, how
perpendicular.
close were we to tipping
Yeah,
there? He's
completely.
like
0 degrees.
very, and I was like, that didn't feel very topsy turvy. He's like, that was very close to tipping, and that's kind of what, because like I've gone like solo kayaking, but I've never gone canoeing that many times, and I get, is it that easy? Like a little wobble is that's all it takes?
It depends, like how many people, how much stuff in your canoe, like what your canoe's built for. But I mean, you really shouldn't be doing it if it's choppy,
Yeah.
because if a little bit of water gets in,
you start taking water and stuff.
people panic, man. People
That's what,
panic.
that's what I was gonna say.
If
It's
you
the
ha-
people.
Yeah.
It's the fact that there's 2 people in a canoe and you're not in sync with your motions. That one person's one way and then that canoe goes left, right, boom.
Yeah, especially when you got gear in the middle. Like, it's already heavy, right? And like, you've been in a canoe, you move a little bit. If someone's in the front
can't
is
walk.
leaning
If you're
that
walking,
way,
you'll fall.
it tips quick, right? So you get 2 people that panic, or they get hit by a wave that's significantly tall. Well, maybe it's
Not even that big.
maybe
yeah.
it's half as tall as your canoe. It's going to hit you this way. Both of you are going to shift your weight this way. You're going to both overcorrect, and you're both doing this.
and then you're done.
It very easily happen, but like,
Fuck.
I've learned a lot of ways how to recover from a situation like that. But in almost every situation, shit's getting soaked and it sucks. Like,
Yeah.
it's still gonna not really be a good time, especially if you're like, your goal is to get to a campsite backwoods,
Yeah.
like backcountry camping. Like, you're gonna get there, you're gonna be soaked. It's gonna be a little bit miserable. Yeah, you can definitely, like, if you can start a fire after that, like, you really got a great chance of recovering from that. But like, yeah, I mean, you gotta. That's the other thing. Like, I would get in a canoe with someone who's inexperienced.
That's why I like kayaks. Only rely on yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, and kayaks are way harder to fucking topple.
Yes.
Way harder. It's just one.
It's easy.
You can
centered,
do
you're
a
centered.
barrel roll. You can pull
Yeah,
it
Can
back.
we do portaging with just solo kayak?
But how much gear
That
are you gonna
sucks.
bring?
Does it?
How much gear are you gonna bring with you?
3 days.
Whatever
worth is not that much.
you guys recommend. I don't know. I don't fucking do this shit.
I've never done that with kayaks. I don't have a
I haven't
kayak
either,
that's
yeah.
big enough for
Bring
my.
stakes.
Is it easier with canoes? I feel like the
Yeah,
the
because
weight.
the canoe has a lot of empty space in it to throw
Yeah.
huge bags.
Yeah,
Like
it's-
a kayak, like I'm looking at getting like a 10-foot, and even that just has that really like a small compartment
Yeah,
either side. Like
No
there isn't really
beers.
anywhere to put
Yeah.
my big
Yeah,
ass.
I
fucking
you
want
can't
bag.
bring any beers. Like, you got to have a backpack, and like between 40 and 60 liter backpack
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah, but
If
if
you're
we're going on
camping, canoes are the way. It's just don't.
Is
it's,
it-
It's
okay,
hard to flip it. Like don't.
is
fucking
it
flip It'd be stupid.
is there not like have they not developed a better fucking canoe that doesn't flip?
Yeah, you just get a bigger canoe. It's just like
You
then.
just develop the other person in the canoe to not being an idiot.
The
Yeah,
fucking
and then you're
dumbass.
fine.
Okay, yeah, you should know the basics of canoeing. Number 1. Number 2, bigger the canoe, the more weight it can hold, and the better it does in storms and everything like that. But the trade-off is, if you're doing a portage trip, you got to
Slower,
carry that fucking
heavier.
thing. You got to carry the canoe, right? Like, yeah, right. I mean, especially if you're like tandeming, like if you do 2 people.
Yeah, people carrying is no problem. When we did with when we went with the school camping. And we did.
We had like a 1.2K.
It was like one person would carry the canoe.
Yeah.
You would take
Yes.
it on like
That's what I did on my
over
last
your
one.
shoulders. And because like
They have the
I was
yoke in
part
the
of,
middle.
like, there was like we were the older boys. It was like me and a couple other guys. We like went all the way, whatever, a whole kilometer.
Yeah, but girls couldn't
with the
carry
canoe.
it.
Yeah, and then the girls
fucking
gave
crying.
up, like, or younger people
Girls-
gave up earlier, and I went back and took other people's canoes.
I think the longest one went was like 200 meters, and she started crying.
I mean, they're just smaller and weaker. It makes sense.
Yeah, it was like a small grade 9 girl.
They're
or
geeks.
something.
They're geeks.
I learned young how to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's pretty useful. Like another thing that just makes me feel so accomplished. Like I brought a boat and all my stuff
Yeah.
out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Had a great time.
Survived.
Came all the way back, got in my car, and then went back to
Life.
my sad excuse for life.
Wait, what is portaging?
It's carrying the canoe.
Can you suck this dick? All right. Thank you for tuning in. That's been episode 30 of the Shitpost HQ podcast. Have a good night.